Folks, first, as you can see, this is not clickbait. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about this. I feel like this is a subject that should be discussed in big matters. The lady yesterday, a lady claimed that because she had 0 subscribers and nobody followed her really, she went over and attacked people at the YouTube headquarters. The attack on the headquarters was not part of a Trump, it was not a matter of like Trump at all. It had nothing to do with Trump. It had nothing to do with the fact that Donald Trump is our president. It had nothing to do with the fact that, you know, all the politics that are going on now in whatever country you come from. It had to do with the fact that this lady literally took out a gun and shot every person that she could think of or that she could and try to nail everyone down because she had 0 subscribers on her channel. Because what happened, thank you, Ricky, because what happened was she felt like this attack is deliberately a way to wake up people. So here's what I am going to tell you guys. First of all, we got a lot of ground to cover, so I'm going to do it first. And so, second of all, Chicken Noodle News Network is still claiming that Donald Trump is now got a head conspiracy theorist of like Donald Trump had something to do with the Russia. You know, the Russians and Donald Trump had something to do with in connection with each other, which is still, I think, bogus, but we'll get to that soon. But right now, we're going to really talk about this. So this lady, she's from Israel. I don't have the video, but you look on the video on YouTube. I wish I could do the link down below, but I'm doing it from my phone. I'm streaming you guys off right now. But the link is in YouTube. You guys can hear about it. But, and exactly, Ricky just pointed out that she could get a gun, but no YouTube channels? Okay, I am for the Second Amendment. I want to be for the Second Amendment. I believe that people with Second Amendment rights have that right to carry guns. I believe that liberals want the guns taken away from us because we don't have anything in the Declaration of our Constitution that says our guns. Like, here's the thing. People say that guns are dangerous, which is true. But it's not really the gun that's dangerous, it's the person's mindset of who has the gun. The person who has the gun is going to be the one that's either dangerous or not dangerous. I think the person with the gun is going to be dangerous because their mindset, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether they're going to protect me, whether they're going to hurt me, whether they're going to... And then when a girl comes into a YouTube headquarters in California, I think by San Bernardino, I don't know, correct me you guys if I'm wrong, San Bernardino, California, that one of the YouTube headquarters where YouTube is located, and agreeance that YouTube does demonetize videos. It is true. It is really bad. I agree that YouTube has demonetized, but this girl comes in with a gun, shoots everyone, and just bang, 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 pops whoever she can, and then she gets shot because she has 0 views. Now, I granted again that this is not politics. This has nothing to do with Trump and Hillary Clinton, who, you know, I believe is not the right person. But we're not going to talk about that. We want to talk about this is what really is happening. Our videos are being demonetized, which is true. And she got part of, you know, she was one of them that got demonetized. Like Mark Dice. If you guys don't know Mark Dice, go to his channel, Mark Dice. He's got a lot of videos. He talked about this today. I don't know if his views or any of his notification squad will be here while I'm here. But if somehow this gets out to Mark Dice, let me tell you right now, Mark Dice has discussed this conversation about what's going on and how, you know, her videos were pretty bad. I mean, they did look pretty bad. I mean, they weren't really good videos. They were just her dancing in a weird way. But, I mean, come on. I mean, Jesus, come on. Can you people at least understand that videos are being demonetized because YouTube is starting to go down and up? You know, they're trying to keep their business going. But when they got things that, you know, that they have rules over here that they have to follow, then they got these guys back here that are the head honcho that are saying, well, you got to follow these rules and these rules and these rules, and if you don't follow these rules and these rules, and then you're going to get hit. So YouTube finally had no other option but to demonetize our videos, or videos that they deemed needed to be, or to, you know, watch. And YouTube has this policy where they will watch you. They will watch what you put on. They will watch what you say. They know what you say. And I'm sure they're watching me right now doing this. I'm sure. I know 100% sure I'm being watched. And I'm probably going to be demonetized for this. And I'll probably have, you know, this either blocked or knocked down. But,
hello, darkness, my old friend.
I don't know the name of her channel, but I know that she had one. But if you go to Mark Dice video, he pops the link up there of her channel. I don't know the name of her channel. She was Israel, and I think a lot of her channel was in her language. And honestly, her language, she's not doing something right. Obviously, if she's talking about her videos being demonetized, then she's talking about something that her culture or her country doesn't like. Because I get it. Granted, some countries don't have the freedom of speech like America does. I get it that some countries are dictated by, you know, bounds and rules and laws of, you know, what you can and can't say and what you can and can't do. But to go grab a gun and then obviously shoot somebody for, I don't know how many minutes this lasted, this woman went out and got a gun and just blah, 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 and got everyone. You demonetize your videos. Your videos get demonetized. And then you go out there and just blah, 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 blah. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. You're going to go out there literally and be stupid and hurt people just because you're stupid videos. Then go back to the drawing board. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Go back to the freaking drawing board. Start over again. Do something better. I mean, make a video about, you know, how to take care of cats or how to eat Israel, you know, food from Israel, or, you know, take a tour, give us a tour of Israel, because, you know, Israel, I've heard, is a nice place. But, okay, talk to you later, buddy. But the channel that she started with had 0, and went from 0 to now where she's looned. I don't get it. And I believe that what she did was wrong. And I'm not going to say, no, she was correct, because she was not correct. I believe that she was wrong. I think that she was wrong in every way to literally have people out there, you know, that gave her no views. That was mean. I realize it, but it's not their fault. It's not their fault. You know why? Here's what I follow. These are the few rules I follow. Here's my secret. 1, If you're going to make a video, do something. Something either creative, something that you think that the viewers will like. 3, follow through. Follow through your program. Follow through, like, have a schedule, have a time, have a day that you're going to do it. And then do it. Stay with it. Don't, go sporadic. Do it as often as you can, as much as you can, and do it, do the first thing that comes to your head, like, not singing, dancing, and just making random, noises. Start something that people would like. It's hard, I realize, because you're having to have a camera that shakes like this. And what? Really, you're going to have people that want to watch your video and that are doing this? No. So, again, the first thing is create something. Think of something that, would pick up attention. So right now, I have 0 live stream people on here right now. And this might pick up attention very quickly because I assure you, this is going to cause a lot of dramatics because of what I'm discussing. But, excuse me, find something that's creative. Create a schedule. Stay with the schedule. Stay with the hours that you can do it. And if you can't do it, at least do a quick video saying, guys, look, I'm sorry that I've been sick or something, blah, blah, blah. At least try to make it to where these people can understand that, hey, I'm busy. We all have busy lives, and we all are busy people. I don't have time to stream all the time, and I do it almost a lot. I told you guys I would be gone during the Easter time. So anyway, you guys, this is part of it. So the next part is Chicken Noodle News Network is talking now about trying the little witch hunt about how Trump is tied with Russia, and the whole investigation came out to being a complete bleh. The reason why I think Chicken Noodle News Network, or CNN, came up with this conclusion was because there was no proof. And it was all blatantly stated by CNN that these news networks have falsified information. Information that has been falsified many, many times. And like NBC, ABC, CBS, and CNN, they all falsify information. And it's really demeaning. It kind of really stirs up controversy about how, Liberal News Network gets the attention because all the liberals out there are pennyho rating because they don't like what, conservatives are saying, or what they don't like what Republicans or Christians are saying. And they call themselves tolerant people. Are you really tolerant when you go out there and you beat people up for what they believe and what they feel? Are you really tolerant because going out there and being mean and bullying people is not the way to do it? And especially I realize again that this goes hand in hand with the situation yesterday that I've heard with the shooting about this girl. She is an Israel girl. And I feel bad for her. I really honestly do. I understand that her 0 subscribers, 0 people liked her. But I would have definitely gave her a thumbs up for at least trying. But to be honest, I don't think that she was really honestly trying. I think honestly she was trying to do something, but it just wasn't working as well in her favor. That being said, she had to go back to the drawing board, and the drawing board was 0. 0 people paid attention to her. 0 people wanted to pay attention to her, and she got pretty pissed. And I realized that 0 people paying attention to you is a very horrible, horrible thing. But do you understand what you're doing? Going out there and doing what you do best is not easy. Like me telling you this is not easy. I've been doing this now for 15 minutes and 16 seconds already, and I've pretty much repeated the same thing. But in other words, I think, attention will come and go. Viewers and subscribers will come and they will go. It's not a thing that you worry about. It's a thing that you realize it's happening. So what you're doing is you realize, okay, if I got 0 subscribers, what am I not doing right? What am I doing that's, not attracting them? Figure it out, then come back and say, okay, I think I got a better idea. Let's, maybe teach the cha-cha or the tango. Teach something or bring something to the table that people could want to do. I don't have the knowledge in certain things. I'm sure, that other people have knowledge in. But I know that making videos is not easy. And then to go out there and then have Chicken Noodle News Network claim that supposedly it was a Trump attack, or attack on a Trump supporter, they blatantly obviously didn't see that it wasn't a Trump support attack, but a attack on a person who didn't have views. So, for instance, me, I started out again with 0 views, and I ended up with 1, ended up with 2, I went up the chain. Now, I learned after the years of doing these videos that what am I going to do right to wrong? I might lose views talking politics. I might talk views about, okay, this is not right. I'm talking about what do I do with my videos? So, what am I doing wrong? And obviously, for a girl who wants to talk about something in Israel or do something in Israel, which is, I get it. Israel is a very depressing country. Israel has had a lot of troubles. But this poor girl, I cannot believe, I wouldn't say poor girl, I would probably say a liberal lunatic. Or a lunatic. I mean, she became a lunatic and literally just went out there and shot everyone at the YouTube headquarters. Now, honestly, remember again that I started out with 0 subscribers and I ended up with 3 or 4. I didn't go out there and act all pissy and pantyhose-rated. I did what I did. I continued to do what I do best. I don't scratch my butt and go, hey, I can't do anything. No. You don't sit there scratching your ass saying, I can't do anything. Because if you do nothing, you lose everything. If you do nothing, you lose your viewers. If you do nothing to help your viewers, if you do nothing to support your viewers, you lose everything that you have. And she lost or had nothing to lose. So that pretty much means, then why was she pissed? Well, Romeo, you may say, Romeo, she was pissed because she had no views. Well, of course, I would be not really too pleased, but if I had no views, what would I do? I would start thinking a little bit more deeper about what would I do more better? What would I better myself with? Okay, so let me go thinking scratching my butt with toilet paper. Here, let me show you how to scratch your butt and wipe your butt with toilet paper. At least something tangible. Give me something tangible to watch. Something like maybe a poodle eating a strudel or something. At least something cute. Or something that I would want to watch that would drag in views at least a couple times a day. Like, for instance, Onision. Onision has Onion Boy. I hate Onion Boy. I hate Onision. Onision sucks. But what does he do? He does his views. What he does is he starts drama with people, which is stupid, of course. You're going to start beefing. You're going to have, like, a beef call out. And I'm not calling Onision out, but I'm just saying, like, people like him who start out with nothing came up with something. Everyone on his YouTube channel had nothing than something. I realize that. I realize it's hard. I realize I don't like it. But again, give me something watchable. And And then this girl claims that I don't care about what you say. I don't care what you feel. I'm just going to go out there and attack. Really? So attacking people that have no control over what you're doing is the one to be blamed? So seriously, you're going to attack people who honestly had nothing to do with this at all? Mind you, the people at YouTube, yeah, did probably demonetize her. Which, of course, I don't know what she did. I don't know the full story. But they demonetized her. And she went on a rampage. Get it that YouTube does do bad things sometimes. YouTube does not do nice things to the people. But to go out there and demonetize people's videos and then have people come over and just take the anger out on them is not right. So both parties, I feel, were guilty. YouTube might have had, a reason, but she had a reason to be pissed, so claimed, but that's not really a reason for her to do what she did. I don't think that was an obvious reason for her to be coming out trying to rampage. And you know what's so funny? Like I said, Chicken Noodle News Network went back after the story and said, you know what? Nothing about... They went from that top story to nothing. Back to the original program to to pesterizing about Trump. And pesterizing about what they normally like to do, which is called their leftist agenda. I don't think their leftist agenda has been very correct. They have had a lot of leftists like the Young Turks. The Young Turks, I'm sure going to say that the Republicans had a lot to do with it. I'm sure that the CNN's going to say, I am sure CNN and the Young Turks are going to say, I'm 100% positive that Trump had a lot to do with this. And it really had nothing to do with Trump at all. Trump had nothing to do with this. It didn't matter because she was from Israel. So, I don't think, honestly, Israel really had that, they didn't vote. They didn't vote for Trump. I'm sure, some of the Israel might have, agreed with Trump and, with some of his politic views. But they didn't have nothing to do with America. They had only to do with their own side. And so all the other leftists are going to say, supposedly they're going to come out and say, this is what Trump was involved with. And they're going to demonetize Trump, and they're going to demonetize, the left party, the right party. All everybody's going to do is start pointing fingers at everyone saying, this is your fault. Not ours, yours. When in all honesty, is it really our fault? Is it anyone who voted for Trump's fault? Is it anyone's fault but the person that did this? Okay, she was the one that went out there and grabbed the gun. She was the one that went out there and did this crap. She did this crap by herself. With her own thought. With her own thought process of, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. It's just like the guy with who killed John Lennon. It's like the Mark David Chapman guy. The guy that killed John Lennon. He knew what he was doing. So supposedly they claim that he had a mental disorder. Which I'm not disagreeing at all. I'm not disagreeing with it at all. He had a mental disorder. But let's blame Donald Trump for John Lennon's death. By the way, John Lennon was way before Donald Trump was ever elected president of the United States. So, is that fair to say, if I may be too presumptuous here, but that Donald Trump is to blame for John Lennon's death? Mark David Chapman had something to do with Donald Trump. That's pretty preposterous to say, and pretty ridiculous, and pardon me for saying this, but I don't think that anything of John Lennon's death had to do with Trump. So this is what the leftists seem to do. They want to attack people who are not part of the attack. That's what they feel is what is being done. I feel like this is being done. So if I'm over here on Oregon or America or New Zealand or wherever I may be, and I put myself over the border, and I go over the border and I do something stupid, then I come back to the United States or wherever I came from. So, am I going to get blamed for my doings? Or is it going to be the president that gets blamed? You know, to be honest, should we blame the president for me doing something when I go across the border? Excuse me, when I go across the border and I steal and I, bank rob or I do something like a petty theft or anything. So I go over the border and I jump the border, do whatever I do, then come back. So yeah, let's blame Trump for it, I guess. Woohoo! Because obviously, she's dead, and her punishment was pretty much she died. And so what you guys are, a lot of other people are perpetuating is that it's the fault of who we have now. This is what a lot of other people like to do. They like to perpetuate that it's not their fault, they're perfect angels. No, you're not. That's bull honky. Because you're not perfect either. She deliberately went on the side of California, San Bernardino, California, where YouTube headquarters once was or is, and terrorized and hurt a lot of people. So let's say that this again. Let's not perpetuate a big dilemma out of something that that's nothing to do with Trump, but we're going to cause this because we feel like we can blame people for everything that is not their fault. So of course it's like saying to a kid who steals a cookie or takes a cookie when they're not supposed to have a cookie. Well, it's not really the kid's fault, it's the parents' fault for not teaching the kid any better manners. Well, actually, it's both. It's the kid's fault for stealing the cookie, and it's the parents' fault for allowing that kid to have the cookie if the parent didn't catch the kid having a cookie. So, now back to Trump. This is where, the parent, let's use Trump as the parent. Now, Trump is the parent. The girl was the lady was the one trying to get the cookie. She wanted the cookie. She didn't get the cookie, and she got pissed off because her parents said no. Now, since Trump, let's pretend, okay, so Trump didn't have anything to do with it, right? Because, because Trump isn't the parent on that part of the area. Trump is not involved in the parents. So the mass shooting basically was done by a lady who had said, by her parents said, no, I will not have a cookie. I will not give you a cookie. So this analogy basically proves how stupid people are. By saying, yes, it's Trump's fault because Trump is supposed to be the parent by doing what he's supposed to do by stopping this. Well, obviously, Trump had no idea that this was coming. See what I'm saying? A, Trump had no idea this was coming. And B, the girl that had no cookie, it's her fault. Because she was spoiled enough that she wouldn't have done anything better to get what she wanted or get what she deserved. In order to get what you want, you must earn what you get. You can't have everything on a golden flippin' platter. Now, again, I'm not going to say that this girl did anything right, because she didn't. She obviously massacred a mass attack on people. She made an attack blatantly obvious that these people right now are what is today's society is what stupidity has become. So, for instance, if I get banned or if I get watched because of this video, am I going to blame you guys for it? Am I going to blame Trump for it? No, it's my own fault. But I'm speaking truthfully and honestly because I believe that this girl and the left side and everyone that believes that, this girl got pissed off because she didn't have views and, it's Trump's fault and all that and the gun controls and the NRA, it's not any of their fault. Honestly, where do we get guns anyway? We get guns from local dealers, right? So what are we trying to do now? Well, we're trying to make sure that the people who own guns are legal and who are United States citizens, and to make sure that those guns are legal. Right? Okay. So how could she have got the gun if this lady gets the gun? Okay, Rebecca on here just brought up a good point. First Amendment. And let's cover this right now. The First Amendment of the United States of the Constitution, because I'm somewhat not so skilled about the Constitution, I know what the first and second and the fourth one is. The fourth one has nothing to do with what's going on now. So we're talking about the first and second. First Amendment is the freedom of speech. So she could have done something different. Other than bringing a gun in this situation, she could have, maybe had protested about this situation that she was feeling, a little mad over. And she could have had, not used a gun. But of course, in America, Second Amendment says you will have the right to carry a gun. And it doesn't state what kind of gun. But of course, I hear all the left side say, well, it's because they didn't know that we would have the guns we have now. Well, of course, I think our presidents were talking about any gun you own. Whether or not they're big, little, small, or the size of my pinky. So, nothing of this had anything to do with drugs or alcohol or anything. She was basically, we don't know, honestly. I don't think we know her mental state at this point. There's going to be a lot of speculation going on that claim that she probably might have had mental health or they might have not looked into it. Because, of course, they're going to blame, they're not going to look into it because they want it to be gone. Because they want somebody to be pointed out. They want to point at Trump. And, of course, true. I mean, but now let's talk about the gun part. How did she get a gun? She's from Israel. She couldn't have had a gun go through the airport. Of course not, because guns, are banned, and that's one of the rules in the airport. Is that, since post 9/11 or 9/11 has happened, America has been very stingy about watching where their guns come from. So I think she might have got her guns from either a drug dealer or maybe black market. Or maybe somebody that had a gun that she knew here in America. That could be at least something debatable. Black market, or maybe somebody she knew here, or just maybe, a dealer, a drug dealer, or some kind of drug lord, I don't know. But I don't know, that seems too far-fetched for me. Because, you want to look into the obvious reasons of how can she get a gun in the first place when she's not an American citizen? Or she claims I don't know if they claim she was an American citizen or not. I think they claimed she was from Israel, actually. But she was supposedly an American citizen, I don't know. But this is what happens now, is that this is becoming the most obscene thing of all. Is that we're watching this happen and we're not doing anything about it. Now, let's talk about the Ramirez girl, the Mexican girl. That Mexican girl at the school shooting had no idea what the heck she was talking about at all. So when you saw the Mexican girl after that school shooting, that Gonzalez girl, or whatever her name was, I don't know, that Latino girl, come out and say, let's ban guns. you could see in her eyes that she was a full libtard. She was a liberal disease. She had no idea what she was talking about. She didn't realize that banning guns is meaning you're breaking a constitutional law. This is what the leftists want to do. They want to break the Constitution. They want to reappeal the Constitution, which means that she wants the First Amendment gone because we don't have the right to freedom of act or speech, which of course is what's happening, pretty much. You can't speak freely much anymore. And they want to appeal the guns, the Second Amendment, which means they claim, here's what I get a lot from the liberals. We want to keep guns, but we just don't want machine guns. Well, what are you saying? Because guns are guns. So if you took away the machine guns, then what do you expect me to do? Do you expect me to self-defend with a knife? Because obviously that's not working. That's not going to work. But then they claim, well, we don't want to take away hunting rifles. Well, did you know that hunting rifles can be used as a weapon? As a different... did you know that a hunting rifle, if you put a good, accurate scope on there, you could probably snipe at least maybe 100 feet away or more if you're really a good marksman. Now, I'm not condoning that kind of stuff, but I'm saying, it's like, these are what people don't think about. They don't think about, like, this is what they can actually do. People who were, like, in the Marine Corps, or people who were, in the military, realize that these guns, like hunting rifles, can still be used. I mean, let's look at the attack a long time ago at the Las Vegas shooter. The Las Vegas shooter supposedly had a hunting rifle. I don't know if it was a Remington or what kind it was. It was a rifle. He had a rifle that was able to shoot so far away that he was able to pick his targets. Not very well, but he was able to pick his targets. And what did he do? He got some hits. He definitely got some hits. I'm not joking. I mean, look it up. He got hits. He got people killed, literally. And so what they're worried more concerned about is the semi-automatic, like the AR-15s, the Uzis, the Remingtons. Do you guys not really see what you guys are doing? You guys are paying attention, blaming all this crap on a machine gun. When still, people can do crap with a regular gun. The guy, the KKK member, or supposedly the kid that killed all the black people in the church that were in the church. I think he had a pistol. I think it was a pistol. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong down below. But I think it was a pistol. And he went bang, 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 bang. And he shot all them black people. And all them black people were, get rid of guns! Get rid of AR-15! But did they not realize what kind of weapon it was being used at that time? See, this is what they do. This is what I think they do a lot with people. They choose and pick and choose what they want to do. And then when they do it, they don't follow through with it because they know that it's not going to work. So, of course, if you know it's not going to work, don't do it. Don't stay with what you're going to say. Because don't think about doing it. Because if it's not going to work, then don't talk about it. And of course, then we got all these Black Lives Matter people that are complete numbnuts. And they're like, oh, there's more black shooting than there is white shooters. Well, actually, have you heard that, gang affiliation? It's called gang affiliation. Gang affiliation, like the Crips, the Bloods, the Sorrento 13s, they all shoot. Not just at whatever they hit, but they target anyone. I mean, the Crips and the Bloods and the dinky, all them dinky little stupid gang banners that claim that, I'm a gang banner. they actually shoot anyone. And this is what I feel for Black Lives Matter, is that this is what they fail to see. Black Lives Matter fail to see that gang banners actually shoot anyone. And when they shoot anyone, they're fine with it. They don't care. But of course, oh my God, when a black man gets shot, OMG, another black man gets shot. OMG. No. Come on, get real, people. People get shot because of, like, gang banners. People affiliated with, crap like that. And people who don't know how to use guns properly are the ones that get shot. So, let's talk about those guys. Am I right to say, or wrong to say, am I wrong to say this, that all the Black Lives Matter people don't realize that most of the guns that Crips and Bloods and Latinos use aren't AR-15s. They're handguns. They're like revolvers and Glocks and maybe some AR-15s. I don't think I've heard very many being shot with AR-15s. Most of the gang banners, I think, carry like Glocks and pistols. Like pistols, basically. Pistols, maybe sawed-off shotguns, maybe. I don't know. I'm not affiliated with that crap. I'm not a gang banner. I'm not a Crip or a Blood. I'm nothing. I'm just an American citizen. And those guys are the ones that are out there carrying guns. Well, of course, you know how they're getting their guns. And then I'll probably be asked, hey, well, Romeo, how are they getting their guns? Of course, black market or people who are stealing. People who steal guns. So, of course, we need to have a little restriction. But we've already have restrictions. I mean, we kind of have our restrictions down, you guys. I mean, how much more restriction are we going to need before it's like we can't own guns, period? I'm hating to tell you guys this, but I think the world is coming to a deep, deep end here pretty quick. And I think Rebecca would agree with me. But, I know that I'm sure you guys would probably agree with me, and everyone would agree with me here, that, it's not just the gang banners that we're going to watch for. We got to watch for illegal immigrants, because illegal immigrants are getting their hands on guns as well as too. Everyone who knows how to get to a gun or knows how to use a gun is going to know how to use it somehow or way. But the idiots who don't know how to use guns should not be carrying one. Or people with, like, I'm sorry, I agree with people on certain things, but people with, like, who are not willing to think properly with guns, people who have never been able to use guns, people like me who have actually, probably used a gun, or people who have not used a gun, you're probably going to want to have the person who knows how to use a gun to protect you than the person not knowing how to use a gun who's going to probably shoot his own foot off. I mean, it's silly. I mean, for crying out loud. You got the guy like Cheddar Bob in 8 Mile. The Cheddar Bob shot his own foot off, for Christ's sake. Again, for Christ's sake, he shot his own foot off with a gun, a handgun. I mean, doesn't that prove to you people like Cheddar Bob who don't need a gun? People like those people who have mental, who are mentally incapable of using a gun. Now, we're talking people who are like, again, who are mentally disabled, that are not like me, people who are mentally incapacitated, who can't use a gun or wouldn't know how to use a gun, should not be able to have one. People who don't have, histories of jail time should be able to own a gun. And people who are here legally and who know how to use it without killing somebody should be able to own a handgun. Now, this is what I'm going to say now to this, that we have a lot of problems with, like, illegal immigrants getting freebies. We've had, like, the illegal Mexicans, illegal Muslims, and, we've had Islamic problems here. So, how do all the Islamic people and all the illegal immigrants and everyone that's able to get through get free stuff, and we Americans have to do our duties? Because we believe that if we give them a gold-free platter, we can get things back. Well, that's wrong. We don't want to trust people that we've had bad issues with. Like with the illegal, with like Mexico, we've had drug cartels, and we've had, the mafia, we've had rape, we've had murder, we've had, kidnapping, child smuggling. We've had all this crap. And then we have like the Islamic people that claim that they're for Allah, which is a child molester. He married and had sex with a 6-year-old child, which is child molestation. That's wrong. Now, I don't believe in the Bible. Again, I am an atheist, so I don't believe that. I don't condone I don't really condone in any of that stuff. And I believe that all illegal immigrants should be sent back. But if you're here legally, learn English, know how to speak a little bit of English at least, and then come through. Because if you don't know a dang word of English, and you live here, you're going to have problems. Because we don't know how to speak our language. Because what if I didn't know I know how to speak a little bit of Spanish, but what if I didn't know how to speak any Spanish or any Arabic? I would have a hard time trying to figure out what you're telling me. And it's frightening because a lot of those people that speak that language that don't want to learn it are the ones that we're watching carefully. Now, I only know a little bit of Spanish because I've been to Mexico. Mexico's not a really hard, it's not too hard if you learn it after a while, but at first it's very difficult to learn Spanish. But Spanish is a good language to know at least. But at least know it. But then when you come over to our country and then you burn our flag, you hang our flag upside down, you touch it to the ground, you burn it, and then politically you're concentrating onto your own agenda, which is, anti-American, Antifa agenda, which basically proves that you are an illegal immigrant, and all immigrants should be sent back. Now, this is what I say. A lot of people ask me, Romeo, what do you say? And I say, well, a lot of Mexicans that live here are here. But we need to have account for them. I went on the Lars Larson show once, and I don't know if you guys listen to Lars Larson, but do listen at one time, because I was on there once. And I talked a little bit about this with Lars, and I said, Lars, this is what we should do. All the Latinos should go back, start, having a way to filter them out, get them to learn a little bit of English, bring them back. But bring back the ones that know how to do English and know how to, that know that they're legal. Bring them back. And then all the other ones, filter them out. And the same way with, Islam. All the Islamics, send them back. And then bring them back when they're certified. And when they're not, making sure that they're not going to do anything naughty or bad. And a lot of people are going to disagree with me and say, well, you're anti-Latino, you're anti-Islamic, which I don't believe that I am, but if I presume that way, then I'm sorry. Because for me, I believe that our country should be first in our priority than any other country at all. I believe that because you're having problems with your country, then that means it's our fault, I guess? No. It's not really our fault for your problems. It's your fault because you allowed this to happen. You guys allowed the things to go on too long. And the voices of the American, and you coming over to America and trying to do all the crap that happened over here, it's not going to happen again. Like the Boston bomber. That was a total Islamic attack. That was an Islamic attack that was known. And it was known because they were Muhammad prophets, or supposedly part of the Muhammad faith. This Islamic attack has been done too many times, and too many years now has started leading up to, Islamic has done what they've done. Because they don't like us. I get it. But we are being attacked as American citizens, and our rights are being violated. And I think that, maybe our opinion should be heard, but send everyone back that is not legal, that doesn't know English a little. Teach them English, let them learn English, and then bring them back. I'll be fine. But to send people here that don't know English and that are illegal and that, are going to be on doing something very bad, probably a couple of weeks or a month in of being here, then you're going to assume that that we're bad people. Obviously, we're bad because we are tired of people coming into our country and destroying us. We have pretty much, America has spread her legs enough. And we have spread our legs too many times now that we've been screwed over and over. And just like this lady with the YouTube attack, I think this is obviously a blatant statement that America needs to start looking a little bit deeper into the border patrols. Not just border patrols, but mandatory laws that you are here legally, you know a little bit of English, and that, okay, if you're here, and, there should be a mandatory thing, like when you come into this country, you cannot be able to have guns for a certain amount of days. Like, maybe 190 days, or like 400 days, at least. And have it to where they track you down. Where, they can look at your record, and then when you come into a gun position where you're ready to own a gun, then they can look at you and say, okay, well, look, you've got this many days until you can own a gun because you're still here, but you are legally allowed to have one. But because you're still, you're still registered new to here, you can't get a gun yet. Kind of low down on these things. Watch what these things do. Because if we have a mandatory gun law, I agree that, some guns are dangerous. I agree that guns are bad if you use it in the wrong hands. But is it the fault of these people that are here legally? Or is it the fault of yours because you decided that you wanted to do something? You wanted to do something and you ended up being stupid and you paid the price for it. It's not America's fault for doing what we do. It's just the people that allow it. So like I said, I think that the gun laws are kind of already strict, but we should have it to where, like, immigrants that come through should not be able to own guns if they're just visiting. They should not be able to buy one. Unless they're registered a United States citizen, and then after so many days, then you can come buy a gun. But before you ever buy a gun, you have to go through what's called a legal trainer, an actual class, an actual gun course of how to do it. And, if you are convicted of any sexual crime or any crime in any of your other countries, or any crime of your area, then you should not be legally allowed to have it. This is what we should do And I think Trump is trying to do this. And I think he's trying to do what he's doing. And what I guys said, this is what the law is starting to do now. I believe the laws are, as I said, you're not legally allowed to have one if you're visiting. Unless you're a United States citizen or you're registered here. If you've gone through the background check, which is basically in any country, if you're not a murderer, rapist, or anything, or a drug dealer, if you've had a proper training, you go through the proper schooling, proper safety course, actual trainer, where an actual trainer can sign you off, not falsify, but an actual trainer that, that Oregon knows, or America knows, or any country that you live in. Because any country, like in Oregon and Washington and Canada, they have these rules. And most all Americans have these rules. But if you follow them, you can get your weapons. But in Canada, they have this rule where I don't think you're allowed to have guns. Unless you're an officer of the law. Or I think you're allowed to have a gun, but as long as it's registered with them. So things like that are what nimwits kind of look for. Like the liberals look for an excuse to find a way. But you guys, this is kind of coming down to where, I'm going to give you my food for thought. I think America could be great if we just end up doing what we do best. I think if you learn that America originated with freedom, then we, could tell you that we are very good people, but you would have to come to see. You would have to come to see to realize that, through all of this crap that is happening now, America has gone to piss to pot, true. But it once was great. So, I really hope you guys enjoyed my video. I know that it was pretty bad rant. I'm going to do the rant again tonight. I'll probably get a little more on the topic tonight. But anyway, I love you guys. Just remember, you guys have the right to be an American and to live your way you want. Tonight, we're probably going to talk about our amendments a little bit. We're going to go down and talk about our amendments and learn about our, what rights we have here as a United States American citizen and what rights we are not allowed to have so far. So stay tuned tonight, you guys. This was just a little preview of what was coming. I just figured I'd give you an update and my 10 cents on the despicable crime that was committed. I'm happy the girl's dead. I'm sorry. I'm happy she was hurt. I'm happy she's gone because then we don't have to worry about her doing anything else to anyone else. But it is sad that it happened, but, she got what she got because she was doing what she did. So anyway, guys, I love you. And remember, again, keep the Second Amendment and peace. Bye, guys.